Hi guys, this video is going to be a little bit different. We are going to be talking about real life shit because I have been going through a lot of real life shit. So this video is going to be about starting over and reclaiming your spark, getting your spark back again, finding yourself in ways that you never have before. I totally thought that my next YouTube video was going to be related to the Endo Diaries. I had a plan to do a video about 3 months post-op, which is right about where I'm at right now, and I will get to that, but I am strongly being called to talk about something a little bit different right now. I myself am in the process of starting my life over in a really big way. There's a lot of uncertainty about what my life is even going to look like a month from now, and I'm content with that. I feel peace and I feel ease, and there's a lot of unknown, and there's a lot of things that I'm trying to navigate right now, but I am doing that while remaining in alignment with my true self and connected to my true self, knowing that everything is going to work out for me the way that it is meant to. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's like even losing yourself in the first place, why that happens, and how we can get back on the right track in our path of alignment. I think a lot of times we lose ourselves as a part of our own path and a part of our own journey. I think we're gonna have multiple times throughout our life where we find ourselves losing ourselves. We find ourselves missing that spark within us. We find ourselves not feeling very passionate or not having a desire to live the life that we're currently living. And I think that losing yourself is one of the biggest heartbreaks of all, because at a certain point you see it happening and it can feel impossible to get back to yourself and where you want to be and feel that sense of fulfillment and happiness. And it takes a lot of time, and time really is key. When we lose ourselves, that is such a sign that something in our lives is not meant for us anymore. We're simply just not in alignment anymore. And we can understand that maybe what was in alignment for us before, whether it be a relationship or a job or a circumstance, isn't always going to be aligned with you. It's not always what's meant to stick with you throughout the rest of your life. Sometimes things happen in our life for seasons, and they have a huge reason with them, but they're not always meant to stick around forever. And I think that that is something that we hold on to so tightly because it's what we know, it's what we're familiar with, it's what we're comfortable with. And we can't quite yet visualize what a life without that thing is going to look like. And that is scary. The uncertainty is scary. But when you identify what it is within yourself and your life that needs to change, whether that thing is just not fulfilling you anymore, or if it's draining you, or it's making your body feel physically uncomfortable in your day-to-day, it honestly will get to a point of the unbearable. And you'll get to a point where you realize that nothing changes if nothing changes. Something has to change. And a lot of times you can narrow it down to either, okay, I stay in this exact position right now, or I make this one change. Those are my two options. A lot of times it is so hard to make sense of this to ourselves. So it can be really hard for the people around you to understand, but I'm here to tell you that you do not have to understand. It doesn't have to make sense to you. The logistics of it all, it does not have to make sense, and it certainly does not have to make sense to everybody else. Because at the end of the day, you are the only person that can look out for yourself 110%. Nobody knows you like yourself. Nobody knows what you're feeling. Nobody knows the thoughts inside your head. Nobody knows your dreams and your desires like you do. Nobody knows what's going to fulfill you in life besides you. And honestly, I think a lot of that is a part of the process, figuring out what that even means. What does make me happy? What does fulfill me? What is it? Who am I? And I think I went through a really tough patch of feeling like I didn't even know myself. I didn't know who I was. I don't know where exactly I want to go, but accepting that and holding compassion for yourself in that space is the number one step. Once you can meet yourself where you are at, I then want you to make a list of all of the things that you know about yourself to be true. All of the things that you know about yourself are real. And I think that can really help you come back to yourself in those ways when you feel so disconnected from yourself and so unsure of who you even are. Write down the things that you do know. Write down that I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm a hard worker. I know that I am creative. I know that I have so much positive energy. I know that I have dreams. I know that I am loving, etc., etc. Just write down all of the things that you do know to be true about yourself. Also, a part of this process is being messy. And this is coming from somebody that is such a perfectionism when it comes to herself. Okay, I had a really hard time even allowing myself to be in a position where I can be messy, where I am allowing myself to make mistakes if that's what's gonna happen. Okay, because truthfully, nobody knows what the fuck we're doing. Every choice is kind of just like I think this is what is best for me, or I think this is what I need to do. But nobody really knows for sure until you've made that choice and you can see the outcome. So holding space for yourself to know it's okay to make mistakes. If I fuck up, if I make a mistake, if I do something that I'm gonna regret, that's okay, because at the end of the day, you're still gaining from that. You're still gaining from that because now you have a new sense of clarity. Now you have an answer. Now you have a new direction. You know where you want to go. You actually cannot fuck up. There's no such thing as fucking up your entire life. Anybody can get back out there and try again and again and again and again. And it's about building that self-trust with yourself that you might fuck up, and that's okay. The self-trust isn't constructed around being perfect. It's the self-trust that you know if you do fuck up, you got it from here, and it's gonna be okay. I think I had to really reconstruct this perspective for myself in a very deep way and understand why my brain operates the way it does in the terms of holding myself to such high standards and feeling like I'm not allowed to fuck around and find out. And truthfully, it's because as a kid, I was never allowed to make mistakes, okay? From a very, very, very young age, you know, we knew what was expected of us, and it was always, you do that, you know better. You know better. And if you do the wrong thing, there's consequences, but not just like normal consequences. My consequences always came with a sense of hurt or pain or something. Like, I knew that if I fucked up from a very young age, there was going to be heavy consequences to pay. I wasn't allowed to be a kid. I wasn't allowed to be messy like a kid should. I wasn't allowed to like live and learn. I was like held to such a high standard of perfectionism, which is ironic coming from two parents that were so imperfect, okay? So it's really about rewiring the system in your mind that you were built with, to align with the version of you that you are now and the version of you that you want to be, because everybody deserves grace, everybody deserves compassion, everyone deserves love. Everyone deserves a chance, and the most important person to give that to you is yourself. So just know that even if you're unsure about the decisions that you're making, about the things that you're realizing that you might need to let go of, you can do something out of uncertainty, okay? You don't have to feel ready. You don't have to have 110% clarity and confidence in what you're doing. You just have to be brave. That's it. That's it. You just have to be brave. And that goes for so many things in life. Like, you don't have to feel ready. You don't. You don't have to have it all figured out. All you have to do is just be brave enough to take that first step forward. And that's it. And also just know that, like Mother Earth and nature, we have seasons. We have seasons in our life. We have seasons throughout our entire life that are meant for different things. And with those seasons, you're going to have different jobs. You're going to have different people. You're gonna have different ways of knowing and living, and nothing is forever, okay? Like, the version of you that exists right now is not gonna live forever. The job that you have right now, that version of it, not gonna last forever. That relationship, that version of your relationship isn't gonna last forever. Whether that relationship does live out a very long and healthy, long-lasting time, it doesn't mean that the same version of it that exists right now is going to exist years from now, because we are human beings. We are a part of nature. Nature is meant to evolve, and why wouldn't we be the same exact way? Our whole life is about evolving and becoming, okay? So I think a lot of times we think that we are supposed to be existing in this highest version of ourselves at all times, and we should know what that looks like and what that is. But life is about figuring that out, okay? Like, the person who looks like they have their shit together the most, I can promise you does not. I don't think anybody has everything 110% figured out. You can be content with your life, for sure at periods of time, but everything changes. The seasons change, life changes, and there's gonna be times in your life where you find yourself here again, and that is okay. When you lose yourself in these predicaments, these places, these people, it's about realizing that what you are living with right now is no longer meant for you. Something has to change, right? Something has to change in your external world in order for you to come back internally. I think we also need to realize that we accept the life that we think we deserve. We accept the state of being that we think we deserve. So if you are in this never-ending cycle, in this loop of like, you're aware that your circumstances are not serving you anymore, but you do nothing to change that or get to a better place, it's because you're accepting that. You're accepting it. And when you turn to the universe and yourself and you say, I no longer accept this, I no longer want to live like this, I no longer want to feel like this, I no longer want to be this version of myself, the universe will meet you there. You will meet yourself there. And when you say no, and you remove those things from your life, you are now making space and room at the table for the universe to deliver you what is in alignment for you, what is good for you, what will serve you. And I think that is something that we need to remember at times, is the things that you lose are never a loss. They will always be replaced with something better. And you can't lose. There might be times in your life where you feel like you have lost a lot and that you have nothing. And there's going to be periods of uncertainty and periods of feeling so lost within yourself. But that time is temporary. Healing takes time. Figuring things out takes time. Understanding yourself takes time. Just because it's taking time doesn't mean it's not working out for you. Again, nothing changes if nothing changes. Once you, over time, reach that point and that inner knowing that something needs to change, it's just about taking the leap. And again, it does not have to make sense 100% at the moment, and it probably won't. A lot of things are not going to make sense until you see the outcome of that decision. So once you decide to take that leap, whether it's ending the relationship or leaving the job, cutting people out, trying something brand new, once you take that leap, the rest will follow. The pieces will naturally follow, because all the universe needs you to do is just take that leap, that first step. That's all you have to do. And taking the leap is scary. It's such a scary place to be. And the number one thing that you can do for yourself at that point of time is giving yourself love and grace and compassion, holding that space for yourself. I need you to lock in and be your number one best friend. This is where you come right back to yourself. In these moments of uncertainty, this is where you can connect with yourself the most and your inner knowing. And this is where you can really dive deep into your faith and your trust in yourself or the universe or God, whatever it is that you believe in. Alongside giving yourself love and compassion and grace, you need to prioritize your peace. It's not about finding happiness immediately, right away. That's not what it's about. This period of time is about you finding peace and finding what brings you peace. What does that mean for you? What does it feel like for you to have peace? And trying to regulate your nervous system as much as you possibly can. And healing, when you're letting go of something, you're gonna have to heal from it. And healing takes time. But you can't dive in and do all of the healing work all at once. Give yourself breaks. Sometimes you need to detach from your healing process. And sometimes you have to detach from the chaos and shut down that world. Lock it away for a day or a period of time and go do something different. Go pretend like those circumstances don't even exist. Detach from it. Because you have to allow yourself to regulate while you're trying to heal. And if you're just sitting there trying to analyze everything and trying to figure out what do I need to do and looking at yourself like a fucking puzzle in a big research project, you're never gonna get anywhere. It is okay to start over. You're gonna have multiple points in your life where you feel like you are starting over. And honestly, I kind of hate the term starting over because I think it's less about starting over from scratch or trying to rebuild something brand new and more about just realigning yourself, putting yourself where you're supposed to be. You might have to start over in the terms of finding a new job or a new home or living a life alone or whatever that may be, but truly what it comes down to is just repositioning yourself at this point in time in your life to be aligned with you and this version of you that exists right now. After you take the leap, there is going to be a period of time where you are sacrificing your short-term comfortability and familiarity to have long-term fulfillment and stability. You're gonna detach from things that have once brought you so much peace and so much love and so much stability and contentment. So there's going to be a pause in between both worlds where you feel like you do not have that. Understand that will happen. But just knowing that what is coming for you is even greater than what you had before is enough to keep fucking going. That sacrifice that you make, that short-term sacrifice, is going to be absolutely fucking priceless. You are going to look back months from now, years from now, and be like, thank fucking God I did that. Thank God I listened to my intuition. Thank God I paid attention to myself. Thank God I chose myself, because at the end of the day, this is all about choosing yourself. And what is best for you, what is gonna fulfill you, what is gonna make you the happiest version of yourself. What choices are you making right now to get yourself to the absolute best place you can possibly be years from now? All of the decisions that you make right now play a huge part in your future, okay? So think about, always come back to, what do I want my future to look like? And then you can find clarity in knowing what you need to do in order to get there. One thing that I want you to understand is that you are the only person that can look out for you 110%. You are the only person that can protect yourself 110%. You are the only person that can take care of you 110%. You have to be your own best friend. Once you take that leap, I want you to look at it from a perspective of, this is fucking exciting. I have no idea what's coming for me, but that's exciting because anything is possible now. Anything is possible. Once you take that leap of faith, anything is possible, but also know that you are the creator of your own life and you have control over what your next life is going to look like. What do you want this next phase of your life to look like? How do you want to feel? And I think once you understand where you want to go and how you want to feel and who you want to be, you will only find it easier and easier to come back to yourself. And then you get to feel that spark again. You get to feel that passion. You get to feel that desire. You get to see your goals again. You get to feel the happiness that is within you, because chances are, if you lost yourself, you haven't felt this in a long time. You have felt empty. You have felt disconnected. So after you take that leap of faith, the biggest prize of all that comes sooner than you fucking think is gaining that part of you back again. She never left. They never left, but they've been buried underneath all of the emotional turmoil and circumstances that just weren't aligned for you anymore. I think the greatest chapter of all, and something that is such a privilege to even have in your life, is a chapter where you get to just learn yourself and figure out who you even are. The time that you get to do that is a privilege. And it's something that you should see as a gift. Now, if you take the leap and you still don't know where you want to go or what you want your life to look like, that's okay. I honestly don't. I have things that I want to achieve in my life, and I know how I want to feel in my day to day, and that is enough right now. And every day I just constantly strive for that feeling that I want to have and hold for a very long time. The choices that you make right now will make your future self so fucking proud. And also your inner child. Your inner child is inside of you, and your inner child is rooting for you to do the things that are best for you. They want to see you succeed more than anybody else around you. Your inner child is your biggest cheerleader. Do it for them. I promise you that once you make the decision that you want more, you want better, you want different, the universe is going to meet you there. God is going to meet you there. And it will work out. It will work out. I think that alignment is a beautiful thing, and there are a lot of signs that maybe you're not in alignment, which these will manifest through your body and physicality, and you will notice yourself having no energy, feeling depressed, feeling sick. Maybe you're having heart palpitations and a high heart rate, or you're randomly experiencing panic attacks for no fucking reason. That is your body trying to scream at you and get your attention to signal, hey, something isn't right here anymore. We need you to move. We need something to change. And the feeling that you have in your body once you come into alignment again is the most peaceful and blissful feeling that I can't even explain it, truly. And I know that I'm still in the process of getting there fully, but I have seen such a shift in my energy and myself and the way that I show up in my day to day already. And it's been like 2 weeks since I made one of the biggest decisions of my life. And like I said, there's still so much uncertainty and so much I don't know and so much to figure out, but I'm not stressed about it. Why? Because I know that the universe, it's got me. The universe has me. I'm the universe's baby girl, and so are you. And once you can find that inner knowing and truly believe that, so much of your anxiety and looping thoughts and doubt, your self-doubt or your mistrust in yourself it's gonna diminish, okay? Because the universe is gonna show you along the way that they're there and you can trust it. God is gonna show you, hey, I'm here, trust me. And when you can pour that trust not into just yourself, but also a higher power, that is where co-creation happens. That is where you are now creating the life of your dreams, or the person that you are aspiring to be, with the universe. You're not alone. Nobody is ever alone. Okay, I believe in things on more of a spiritual level. So I believe that I have spirit guides that are guiding me every step of the way, and they're all working in my favor to help me get to where I want to be and help me become the highest version of myself. And through all of my life experiences, which trust, I have so many. I could talk about so many different topics. Throughout all of my trial and errors, all of my surrenderings, all of my letting go, all of my leaps of faith, I have been shown time and time and time again that I am supported, I am protected, I am guided, and I am loved. And I promise you that the same goes for you. So I want you to get back to yourself. I want you to do this with me. If this resonates with you at all, and maybe you're still in the phase of processing and understanding that, oh shit, I am unaligned right now, or I do need to let go of something, give yourself time in that phase too, because truly it takes time to even come to that realization. So do not beat yourself up for not having it figured out ahead of time or not knowing right away, because you don't know until you know, okay? And you're not supposed to come out of the womb knowing everything about yourself and everything about life. That is not realistic. Nobody fucking does, okay? So let go of those perfectionism and people-pleasing standards that you hold inside and let yourself fucking live. Because we have one life. You have one fucking shot at this life. So how do you want to spend it? Do you want to spend your life trying to please everybody else around you and trying to make everybody else happy while you're sitting there feeling unfilled? No, this is your life. This is your life. What do you want it to feel like? Sit with that. So yes, I think that is my little rant / conversation that I have today. This is so new for me, and honestly, creating these type of videos was always the end goal for me. I really did start off on my journey of endometriosis because that is something that I so recently have went through and something that I do want to bring more attention and awareness to. And I have so much to talk about when it comes to endometriosis, but I have so much to talk about with a lot of different things, and I think that this is just the beginning. So I hope that this video finds the people that need to hear this, and yeah, just know that we got this. It's gonna be okay. And I promise you, a month from now, 3 months from now, especially 6 months from now, you are going to be so grateful that you took the chance on yourself. You're going to be so grateful. You're going to be so grateful that you decided to let shit go. You're going to be so grateful that you decided to take a leap of faith. You will not regret it. Ever. Okay. I love you. Bye.